great influence, first of all. I mean, I've been working on my album with Abdullah Rose, so...
Yeah, so I had this idea, I was like, okay, cool. And then COVID came.
Yeah.
Assalamu Alaykum, this is Umar Salaams, and I am a musician and educator. So it all started from coming from a family of musicians, starting from my granddad, and then my mum, my uncles and aunties, they were all singers and instrument players as well. So I was always around musical instruments, I was always around songs and singing. So yeah, and then I started playing instruments from a very young age, and then I got into beat making, you know, when I was around 7 or 8, you know, very young, when my dad bought me my first computer, and then I started making sounds and beats on a computer, and then it progressed, and then I started making beats for radio shows, and then joining competitions, and then working with like famous artists, and then I had some famous mentors mentoring me, you know. And then at around 15, by then I was rapping, singing and making beats. And then I'd got signed, and then when you get signed you can take your music career further. And then yeah, ever since then I've always been into music production. So yeah, that's how I got into music.
There's a lot of passion there.
Yeah.
You know, mashallah, just already creating your own content and then working towards your idea now.
Yeah. So like I was building up, and it came to a point where COVID happened, and I think the world stopped then. So I got involved in a wide variety of projects, range from charity song projects to music video projects, to performing, setting up events, sound mixing, so quite a lot of projects. And the reason I got involved in these different types of projects was to also get experience, you know, and experience is very important when you are going into an industry, you know. So I definitely say try things, and like I did, and do as many projects as you can. So how does Deen influence my work? Well, first of all, it's about believing in Allah, and everything you do, I always think of Allah, and I always feel like Allah has put me in this position for a reason, and it's whether to learn or to understand or to progress, you know, and develop, you know. So I always think about why Allah has put me in different positions, and those are the reasons why. And that helps me to create what I create, you know, because sometimes when I'm in the studio, I'm like, you know, I'm in the studio, alhamdulillah, at this moment. So, you know, then I think of subjects and moods or type of beats to make. And I always think of the purpose of why I'm doing it. So how did I get into Halal Beats? Well, how did Halal Beats start? Well, so as I was making beats, singing and rapping, I decided I wanted to kind of divert a little bit from that and get involved in media, TV and film. So I picked up a camera and I started filming, then I started editing, and then I started creating videos. So when I started creating videos, I was always looking for a sound, you know, to match the videos.
It's a game, although you're on your own, you'll never be alone. We you pray for peace for the land, let's turn to stone.
I decided to start making vocal only beats, you know, and so I used to work with Abdullah Rowe on these beats, and you know, they started progressing, and then I had a bunch of beats, you know. So then I created a website, and then started a business, and actually posted the beats on for content creators and videographers like myself to use in the videos, you know. So that's how I got into it.
So guys, you hear this beat in the back? It's called Fallen. I think you'll know it very well.
So how do I make a beat? So I think of the mood first. You know, I'll think of maybe an experience or mood, and I think, okay, how could I create a melody to that mood? You know, so I think of something happy, and I'll just create a happy melody, like dun 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 dun. You can see how the notes are just getting higher.
It's Umar Salaams, and in this video I show you how I break down a halal beat, vocals only. So as you can see over here, you got the yellow blocks and the blue blocks. The yellow blocks are the vocal leads, and the blue blocks are the vocal chords. So here's some backing vocals I recorded earlier to create a chord. Here is the build up of the backing vocals, starting with track 1. Moving on to the vocal leads, we're going to play them one by one and see how they sound. And this is how it sounds together.
You know, so that represents happiness for me, and that's a happy melody that I could use, you know. So I'd always record the melody, and then what I'll do is layer it with other vocals, you know, such as chords, you know. So I'd have like a dun 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 dun, and then once I recorded that, I'll start working on the chords, you know. So start layering the sound, you know. And then in the background I might have a chord that sounds like and then once I put that together, it starts building, and then there you have it. You have a halal beat.
Routine just stopped, so it was like, right, let me think of what to do. You know, I think we had some time. I mean, there was lockdowns and stuff like that, so I was like, right, I can't just sit here and not do nothing, kind of thing. Like, I've got to do something.
So how can you get involved? So what you can do is pick up for filming. If you want to get into the media industry, pick up a camera. I mean, we all got tablets and iPads. You know, have a go, pick up a camera, press record, and then create a video. You know, it could be an advert. You know, it could be vlogging. You know, a day out in the park or something like that. Now, music, how to get into beat making. For instance, like you have an iPad or you have a tablet or you have a device, there are apps out there, you know, such as GarageBand, you know, and you can practice using these apps, you know, to create, you know, basic melodies, basic beats, you know, recorded by your voice, you know. So have a go, start now and see what you can make. So what does the future hold? So ideally, what I and Halal Beats would like to do is educate music in a halal way, in a way where Muslims are comfortable in doing it, you know, without instruments, you know. And I think one of the main ways is identifying your voice as an instrument, you know, and how you can use that
in not only beatboxing, not only instrument imitation, but actually using it to maybe present presentations and using it in speech and learning tones and melodies and so on. So this is what we want to do, you know, within the schools and with children and guys like you know, that want to learn a bit more about how music is used in a world of Muslims.